Hey everybody, Toy Bro back again for another review, and today we're taking a look at something brand new. You saw in my, well, I hope you saw in my recent haul video where I picked up this guy back here, the new kind of ToyBiz throwback vintage style Marvel Legends figure for Iron Man. And today I was out looking and I found two Punishers, Wolverine and Spider-Man. So I previously said in my other video that I'm not sure that I was going to open these up unless I could find two. So I have found two Punishers, so we're taking a look at him in particular, but we're obviously going to take a look at these packages first just to get an idea. I figure I've got these other three. I might as well show them off, let you guys take a look at them. So we're going to move the Punisher figure aside for a second, and we'll just quickly take a look at all four of these card backs. I don't have Black Widow yet. I have yet to find her, but as soon as I do, we'll do a video on her. So let's take a look at these card backs real quick. All right, so we'll start with Punisher just because, you know, it's his video. So we've got the theme that they have going on are, you know, black and white card back images of comic book art. And then you've got a kind of ToyBiz style shot of the figure on the left. Huge bubble on the right with the figure and all their accessories inside. The back has a very, very brief write-up about the Punisher with that other shot of artwork and then the lineup of figures. So they're all basically the same in that regard. They all have the same backer artwork too, so that's not different or unique with any character. So we got Wolverine here, and when I get another one, we'll go over him as well. There are differences to all of these figures. They are similar but different to what we've previously gotten in the line. And there's the back for him. We've got the legendary Pizza Spidey, which I don't actually have this guy, so he is staying sealed for the time being. We've got that pizza slice there. And the back for him as well. And then we saw the Iron Man figure previously. I've had him for a few days, but I figure why the hell not? Let's throw him in here too. I really do like this figure, although I'm pretty sure he's not that great because he's pretty old. But I'm pumped to actually have a classic style Iron Man in my collection. And there's his backer artwork as well. So let's move these out of the way. We'll pull Punisher back in and we will dig into this figure, and I'll demo the differences between this guy and the previous Walgreens exclusive. Alright, so here is Frank Castle himself front and center, and like I mentioned previously, I do have the Walgreens exclusive Marvel Legends Punisher, the Jim Lee era style Punisher, and that guy came out, I don't know, what, about a year ago? I remember getting him as soon as we moved into our new house. That was before I did the YouTube stuff, so I never did a video on him. So we'll have a minute to take a look at that figure in comparison to this guy. But if you're familiar with that figure, you're not going to get anything new in terms of articulation. There are a few little differences, mostly in the paint department, sculpt, and then accessories is the big one. So we'll quickly run over articulation because it's nothing special. Your standard Marvel Legends stuff. Head can swivel, can tilt up and down, pretty wide range of motion. Arms can go all the way out. You just got to work that joint out enough. Spin all the way around. Bicep swivel double joint at that elbow. And then we've got horizontal hinges and rotation at the wrist. There is a twist, but not a great deal. The belt kind of hinders that. And then he does have a crunch. We've got legs that go out about that far, not too much. They go forward pretty far, way more than 90. And then they kick back only a slight bit. Thigh cuts, double joint at that knee. He does have a boot cut. Gotta get that going. That was really tight. And then we've got a hinge and a forward-facing pin that helps with that rocker motion. So, pretty standard stuff there. As far as paint goes, he is pretty much a black figure with some white on him. Obviously, the big areas are in the skull. I mean, it's a Punisher. Come on, it's the big thing for him, and it's pretty clean. There are a little kind of paint splotches here and there. The other one that I'm leaving carded is also not perfect. We've got just white on the boots. We've got black for the legs, and everything is cast in that color down below. And then the forearms are painted. They're black painted white. And then on the face, there is very little in the way of paint on this particular head. We do have the black paint for the hair. We've got the eyebrows. We've got the white for the eyes, and then the blue for the pupils. So nothing too crazy there. And then as far as sculpt goes, this guy is pretty much a basic Marvel Legends figure. He just has the sculpted on belt with the kind of piece right here that bleeds into the skull. But for the most part, there's really nothing going on with this guy, and that's one of the differences between him and the previous figure. The head sculpt, though, I do like this particular head sculpt. There is another head, and we will talk about that momentarily, but I do like this. It's very, very comic-style Frank Castle Punisher. I think it looks good. I'm pretty happy with this one. I actually like it more than the other one, but we'll get to that in a minute, too. Now, as far as his accessories go, before we do any kind of comparison, obviously he's got this humongous gun, this big honking thing here. This is the same bazooka that we've seen with Drax from the Guardians 2 wave. I don't have that figure anymore for comparison. I bought it for a friend, and he has it. But this one is cast in a kind of marbly metallic silver with black highlights on it, and I actually like it quite a bit. I think it's pretty cool. He holds it very well, and he holds it well because, and I'm going to wait to do this until now, but he has a different style hand on this right hand here. It actually has a trigger finger, which helps him kind of hold this a little bit better, and he'd actually be able to hold the other guns that the other Frank Castle Punisher figure comes with as well. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. It's a minor difference, but the original Punisher did not have any trigger fingers, which is weird for a guy that comes with a whole bunch of guns. So, in addition to that, we do have a separate head, which is pretty decent. It is just the same kind of head that we got with the other figure, except it has a red bandana, slightly different paint apps, and I'll focus on those shortly. But this is, you know, he's got the gritting teeth, and he's got that red bandana this time. I think it's painted pretty well, and I do like the 5 o'clock shadow on it. So let's take this guy and compare him to the original now. Alright, so here they are side by side, and it wasn't until I actually got them set up this way that I started to realize how many differences there are, and the more I look, the more I see them. So we'll start with the head sculpt, because that's kind of the big thing for me. The differences are not just in terms of paint apps, it's how they applied them, really. So obviously this head is the bandana head, and it has the white bandana, and this one has the red. But what they did was, first of all, the paint applications on the new heads are a little bit cleaner, the colors are a little brighter, but this guy doesn't have a 5 o'clock shadow, and this one does. Both of them come with heads without bandanas that have, you know, kind of just standard expressions, and they swap the paint apps on those as well. So the original head has kind of tired looking eyes and a 5 o'clock shadow, and the new head does not. So we've got those differences there. But we continue. So we'll do accessories real quick. So obviously this guy just comes, as far as guns go, he just comes with this newer style bazooka. This Punisher came with this assault rifle, the older style bazooka, both in green with black paint apps, and then he also came with this kind of Tommy style gun. Deadpool also comes with this as well. This is just white with one stripe of yellow paint on it. So he came with 3 guns and a head. This one just comes with 1 gun and a head. The belts are different. So we've got nothing but white with black buttons on this belt, and this one is kind of the leather look, the kind of brown with the marbled black paint. This figure does not have a trigger finger on the right hand. This one does, which is odd because really he doesn't need it, but it does help him hold this grip a little better. But he doesn't come with guns that explicitly have a hole for a trigger finger like this guy does. He has the harness on his chest with the bullets and the grenades. This guy does not. And then the other big difference that I can see is the difference between the Punisher symbol. So you can tell that this one is more semicircles for the eyes. This is a more angular design, and I didn't really catch that until I got them right next to each other. I just assumed they were the same, and they definitely are not. So I'm not sure if that makes everybody want to run out and get a second Punisher, but they are different enough that you can have them standing next to each other and they don't look identical, which is a huge plus for me. Alright, so overall I am honestly more happy to have this figure now that I have 2 and I was able to take one out of the box, because I'm pretty sure if I had just gotten the one, I wouldn't have paid enough attention to see how many differences there were right away. That said, if you're just in this for the card backs, you're going to be very happy with them. They are fantastic. I love everything about the direction Hasbro is going with this, despite the fact that I'm going to have to buy more figures that I probably don't need to buy, but this hits the nostalgia factor for me tenfold. So I'm very, very happy to get these. I've just got one more left to go, and then we'll be able to look at all of them together. So that is going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Vintage, ToyBiz era, whatever they're calling them, Punisher figure. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, guys.